everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features a couple of big targets who will be looking to get open in the middle of the field. It's Gronkowski's 49ers going up against Travis Kelce's Chiefs. The fans are bundled up. It's a cold one at Arrowhead Stadium as we send you out to Kansas City and hook up with our commentators, Brandon Goddard and Charles Davis.
Larry, thank you very much. The snow and the cold, it has not deterred the KC faithful. The parking lot was full early. The barbecue smoker's going, and we are about set for football here on EA Sports. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Hello again, everybody. I'm Brandon Gaudin here in the booth with, as always, Charles Davis. Charles, a lot of times in the open, we focus on quarterbacks, running backs. What about the tight ends in this one?
Well, I think LR identified it really well because the tight ends are matchup nightmares nowadays. Who are you going to cover them with? Because really, they are pumped up wide receivers who can flat out run and use their body to create bigger plays. Cover them with a linebacker, cover them with a defensive back. Either way, they feel like they have the advantage.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Tyreek Hill, 101 yards. And the Niners have taken the early lead. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. On the ground, it's West again. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And now it's Kessler. The Conley's got it over the middle. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run out.
Touchdown, 49ers! Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. Well, what a game for him. He hits for the return cycle, so to speak. He had the kick return. Now the harder part, just got the punt return for a touchdown.
And I would imagine that the special teams coach, as the ball left the punter's foot, he was thinking, should have kicked away from him.
Yeah.
Should have kicked away from him. He's in a groove, and sometimes you hit those grooves or those zones in a game, and he's in one now. He's in perfect sync with his teammates blocking, and he knows how to find the end zone.
So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles, the backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Kessler. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Now Gold for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Back onto the field come the Kansas City Chiefs. As they look back to this last year, disappointment ultimately in how the season ended, Charles, no doubt. It was a weird year, though. The great start, the weird middle, and then the strong end.
And every team in the NFL documents their season with a year-end, video, movie about the season. This is going to be a tale of 3 seasons for the Kansas City Chiefs, isn't it?
Yeah.
How about the start? Remember opening night in Foxborough, beating the defending Super Bowl champs? I mean, they went on the road and took out the Patriots with Tom Brady, and that got them up to a 5-0 start. And then they hit the middle section.
Yeah, that 1-6 stretch.
I mean, that was a tough one. It was hard to believe because we watched it unfold, but we kept saying, they'll get it back together. And they did. Down the stretch, 4-0. winning by almost an average of 12 points per game that propelled them to the AFC West title.
Let's go!
Throwing is Kessler on third down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a fourth down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw it. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for the Niners. 43 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions, because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there, and in a big way.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On play action, they'll throw. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
He'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if. While the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams, but he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999 where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Switching things over, San Francisco taking over on offense here in just a second. And you and I discussed earlier when Jimmy Garoppolo became the starter, what a turnaround it was for San Fran at the end of the year. 1-10 in the first 11 weeks, 5-0 after that. Some momentum to take into the offseason.
And beat some teams that are acknowledged as good teams in the league, including the NFC West champion Los Angeles Rams down the stretch. So that was a big deal for them. Highest scoring offense in the NFL last 4 weeks of the season. But I loved last year's draft because they got good play from those guys. Solomon Thomas in the first round. Reuben Foster in the first round, the linebacker. Trent Taylor, wide receiver. And Akello Witherspoon, cornerback. Some building blocks as they move forward. Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Gronkowski's got it on the crossing route. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers continue to roll.
And as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
And they're able to up the lead by one more. So that drive, 4 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off as he did so with a touchdown run. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. Play action. Kessler. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. DeForest Buckner. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more. Well, Larry, I know it's late there in Orlando. This is a school night. Folks eager to get right back to the action here in the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. He'll look to set up his blockers. Oh, good move. Now he goes spin. He's still on his feet. Might have needed just one more block. As it stands, 37-yard return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And let's not take for granted, in these conditions, that's never an easy pass and catch.
You really got to find a way to drive the ball. Get your grip. That's why we see some of the guys now, they'll put the gloves on when they throw the ball in this type of a condition. Sometimes the glove might make it too slippery. So you got to figure out what's going to work for you. But how about the receivers? Looking back and trying to locate the ball coming through snow and making sure they have full concentration. Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They go play action here on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he'll get nothing out of that one. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They come out here in the eye. A toss play to Hunt. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it with West. Oh, and now West lost the football. It's out. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Looking to throw. Goes right side, complete to Gronk. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the 49ers continue to roll. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Set to return. Here's Raheem Mostert. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Kessler now on first down. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Solomon Thomas forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
They stare up now at a 3rd and long. Kessler and company needing something big after the sack.
Green, 39.
They run with Spiller, and he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And he's able to get it out of there. And he'll take it just outside the 40. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
A 1st down throw for Kessler. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Charkandrick West, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And that's incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
On the mental focus on the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Now that'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
They'll drop to throw. And going deep for Hill. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's fourth down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there.
Now Kessler on 1st down. And to the left side here, Wilson. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 2nd down, here's Kessler. He finds West. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Kessler going to try and throw on 3rd. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Take 4, take 4.
They run with Hunt. He can't get him down. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight
They run again with Hunt. And now running right through him. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Throwing now, Kessler on first down. And it's a sack. Down goes Kessler. Elvis Dumerville in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, here's Kessler. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Chiefs on third down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Kessler. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Because you're right, they have had no room to breathe. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night from Kansas City.